I already know I'm probably going to ruffle some feathers with this video, especially if you're a woman. But, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be a pick me. I'm not trying to pander or win brownie points. I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like how a lot of women nowadays want to compete with men or want to do what a man does. And I'm not talking about equal rights. I feel like we should all have equal rights. I'm more so referring to when women say things like, oh, if a man can sleep around, why can't I? You can do whatever you want as a grown woman, but let's not act like you're just doing it because, oh, I'm sexually liberated. No, 9 times out of 10, there's something deeper going on that you're either in denial about or you're desensitized to. Let me be clear, I think it's just as detrimental when a man sleeps around, but I'm not here to address men because I'm not a man. I can only speak from a woman's perspective. Like I said in a previous video, I was molested when I was 3, and the person who molested me was my dad. I'm gonna be honest, it's a really crazy story, and I didn't realize he was the one who molested me until I got older. My senior year of high school, I was living with him and his girlfriend, and he did a lot of perverted things where I'm like, something is off. And I don't even want to go into detail, but I knew I had to get the fuck out of there. And guess what? When I moved out, that's when I started wilding out. I'm not gonna lie, I was busting it open. And it's scary because I did not have an emotional attachment to none of these ninjas. I actually had a guy text me like, yo, this is the second time we've had sex and you didn't call or text me. And I'm just like, I mean, I just didn't feel the need to. I kind of felt powerful. I kind of felt like, oh, I'm thinking like a man. I'm doing what a man does. I'm a PIMP. No, sweetie, you're just damaged. I was using sex to fill a void, and I didn't realize the correlation between me being molested and me being promiscuous until I got older. But let's just say you were never molested. Let's just say you were never sexually abused and you have a good relationship with your father. Women in general still subconsciously use sex to get love. And before you try to argue with me, let me present you some facts. When a woman is pregnant, nursing, or simply becoming acquainted with her new little human, there are chemicals released in the woman's brain. These chemicals are called oxytocin and vasopressin. What is oxytocin and vasopressin? Oxytocin and vasopressin are the love hormones. Guess what two chemicals are released during sex? Oxytocin and vasopressin. And guess what? Those two chemicals are heightened by skin to skin contact. When you have sex with somebody, you're skin to skin. When you deliver a baby, they have to do skin to skin contact so you can initiate that bond. That's why I feel like as women, we have to be more careful. It's not even about being sexist. It's just a simple fact. Women give life, men don't. They will never have those feelings to the extent that we do. And I'm sure men feel oxytocin and vasopressin during sex, but I feel like it's a lot easier for that to wear off for them just for the simple fact that they don't have babies. They do not deliver babies. It's just different. Like, we can't deny biology. We can't deny nature. Let me tell you something. I am not trying to be like a man. I think it's beautiful that as women, we are naturally nurturing. I am not trying to think like a man or compete with a man, anything like that. I think it's beautiful the way that God made us. And I'm going to be honest, I don't look at sex the same way that I did when I was younger. Sex is not just sex to me, it's sacred. I feel like that hour of passion or however long it is when you have sex, that's not worth the feeling you feel after. Really think about the fact that you're butt naked with somebody you barely even know, committing an act that people do when they're trying to have a child. But you don't want to have a child with this person. You just want the pleasure. I'm sorry, dog. Like, after everything I've been through and after just, getting older and maturing and realizing certain things, I just can't do that. I just don't feel comfortable. Another thing I forgot to touch on is the fact that a lot of kids are brought up in single parent homes. A lot of kids are born out of wedlock, and I'm not judging because I was born out of wedlock. My mom was 15 when she had me. And I know in some cases people's parents were married at one point and then they got a divorce, but a lot of times people's parents either were just in a relationship and then they broke up, or they were never even in a relationship in the first place. They just had sex. And let's be real, a lot of people don't use condoms. If you're in a committed relationship, that's different. But people will be having raw sex with people they barely even know. Or, oh, we have a connection, so let's, take off the condom. How about we not take off the condom? Because guess what? If I got pregnant by you, I would not be happy about that. That's why, as a woman, I have to be more careful. It sucks that it has to be that way because, women are the ones who carry the babies. Women are the ones who, at the end of the day, we are responsible. Regardless if the man wants to walk away and not take care of his responsibilities, we still have to take care of our responsibilities regardless. So yes, as a woman, I have to protect my womb. I have to be careful about who I have a child with, because who I have a child with is going to not only impact my future, it's going to impact my child's future. And like I said, I used to be busting it open in my past life. So I haven't always thought like this, but now that I've gotten older and I've just realized certain things and even just healing from certain things, I'm like, in order for me to break generational curses in my family, I have to be careful about who I have a child with. And I have to make sure that I heal myself. And I think we all have to be careful about seeking pleasure, but not thinking about the consequences. Bringing a whole life into this earth who did not ask to be here, that is a really big deal. The pleasure is not worth the potential pain, and it's not worth the soul tide. So, long story short, I don't want to be sexually liberated. I want to be sexually disciplined. I want to be particular about my cookie. Yeah, and like I said, I already know there's going to be some people who don't agree with me. It is what it is. I stand behind what I say. I'm speaking from my experience. And yeah, I still love you regardless of what side you stand on. And that's it.